lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day.
Let me see. All right, who are you?
Hi, so my name is Adedumola Olanrewaju. I'm originally from Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Lived in Ivory Coast from the age of 6 to 16, and then I moved to America at the age of 16 to Maryland. You know, I went to high school out in Maryland and then college in Virginia, and then I moved out to LA. I started my martial arts, I guess career, if you want to call it, about 3 years ago, at a very young age of 37. I moved to Eugene, Oregon, and I didn't know anybody there, and there was an MMA gym right across the gym. Right across from my workplace, the headquarters. So yeah, I decided to check it out. It's something I always wanted to try out. I'd been doing some boxing in the gym, just hitting the heavy bag for cardio after lifting weights for about a year. And yeah, I got my first competition out there. I was training out of War MMA and with Cub Muay Thai. And then I moved out here down to Los Angeles, and I joined Tejo Kickboxing, and I've had 2 competitions with them.
Okay. All right, cool. And what weight class are you in?
I fight 155, and catch weight 160, 158. So lightweight and 5 pounds over that. So.
Okay, nice. So you said you're from Nigeria.
I am.
At what age you said that you moved here?
I moved to America when I was 16 years old.
Okay, and how did that feel coming to America from Nigeria? And how was the change?
Okay, I moved from Ivory Coast to America. I moved from Nigeria to Ivory Coast when I was 6 years old. And I bounced around a little bit before that. So moving to America, I guess it wasn't a huge thing for me, moving places, but the culture shock was completely different because I just traveled around within Africa, mostly West Africa at the time. So moving to America was like a huge culture the language, just how fast people spoke English was very different to me, the accent. So it took me some time to acclimate. I was a very shy kid, so you know, you've been to high school in America, kids are vicious and they're mean, so there's a lot of bullying going on, a lot of name calling, especially being from Africa and not being too many of us around. I think there was 3 or 4 Africans in my high school. So yeah, that was it was definitely a challenge. It was interesting, you know, it was things to overcome.
Okay, cool. And at 37, man, what made you decide to train in martial arts?
Yeah, crazy. I was a huge fan of MMA, martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai. I watch all of it, but I never thought I would try it out. I was like, this is fun to watch, but I don't think it's something I like to do. And I had a dream. It was just one of those really weird dreams that feel very real, you know. It felt like I was walking to a ring, you know, they got in there, they're like, all right, it's your turn, get in there and fight. And I was like, what the fuck was going on? And the opponent just came and smacked me in the face. And I woke up and I was like, holy fucking shit, that felt so real. And I couldn't get it out of my mind. And I think it was my 35th birthday, I did some boxing at the beach with a friend. And I got so exhausted, I was like, oh, I have no cardio. And I'd been like lifting a lot of weights. So, you know, that dream just stayed there in my mind. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. I'm just gonna try it out. And yeah, here we are. Okay. It took me 2 years before I actually got into it, but I finally did.
Okay, nice, man. What do you feel like is your purpose?
My purpose.
What do you want out of this life, man?
Out of this life, honestly, I want to get as much as I can out of this life, out of myself, out of the talents God has given me, you know, out of the opportunities I've been given, the privileges I have.
I say that all the time.
I want to take as much advantage of all of it. So, you know, I had a teacher, high school Norwegian teacher in, I guess it was middle school. I was going to a very small missionary school in the middle of a super rural area called Vavua in Ivory Coast. And she always used to say, "Why live to tomorrow what you can do today?" That's one thing she always said. And I'd noticed in my life I have a huge sort of procrastination issue. So anytime there's something in my mind I need to do, that comes to me. And I found martial arts has given me discipline to actually get things done. So, and in martial arts, I've met a lot of people that inspired me to just keep going, and that really moved me. So I really hope one day I can be inspirational to other people. So honestly, yeah, my purpose to inspire and to be inspired, and you know, just to be the best I can be in life. Yeah.
Real quick, what inspires you?
Inspires me.
Or who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I would
What
say,
or who?
What and who? My folks, my parents, to be honest. They, growing up, especially with my mom, she has 5 kids, 2 businesses, was a school teacher, a principal, and just always giving back to the community. And even now that they're retired, my father is always giving back to his community. I swear, my father's turning 80 next year, and if you see him, you think he's 60 years old, just because he enjoys everything he does, and he does it all with love. And just seeing them, seeing the way they live their lives, and the way they touch everybody around them, and just how much they're loved by the community, that inspires me. And I hope one day I can, be that for other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, man.
Thank you. And also, all the other people I see doing it, that are doing it really well.
Yeah.
I see on TV, I see here in the gym. Those people also inspire me, to be honest.
Yeah. Inspiration's everywhere, man. If you look at it.
Yeah,
know?
yes, sir.
So, okay. Not all fighters are in the ring. What does that say to your spirit, man? What does that say to your heart?
Not all fighters are in the ring. To me, that sort of rings back to, I guess, what Mike Tyson said, that not every fighter is an actual fighter in the ring. Some fighters are dentists or whatever. I think there's that fighting spirit in people. Like, I wouldn't say you either have it or you don't. I think it's there and you can bring it out. And going through the training, all the sweat, all that, getting hurt, taking the competitions, losing, trying to get better. I think that's what brings the fighter out of you. And then that's what makes you the fighter in the ring. Whereas, I think just as human beings, we're all fighters. We have, we deal with stuff every day, family issues, financial issues, jobs and all that. And you got to fight through all this. It's not just with your fist and, your knees and your elbows and your legs, It's just emotionally, spiritually, you got to fight to, make something out of your life. So, that's what that brings to me. We're all fighters in our own way.
Okay. What would be your word of advice to people who are fighting sickness, disease, and mental health?
That's a heavy one. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's belief. Whatever it is you believe in, God, Allah, Buddha, what is yourself, whatever it is, belief and, positive mindset. Always pray for a better tomorrow. Those things they're tough to get through, and you just gotta keep pushing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Top 3 songs or artists that you listen to while you work out. Real quick.
Okay.
Off the top.
The Roots. Eminem. Asake. Burna Boy. That's more than 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Burna Boy, Asake, The Roots, Eminem.
All right. Nice. I like Burna Boy.
Yeah, I used to.
Okay, man. I want to say I'm done, but I'm not, man. I like your answers. Real quick, words of wisdom for people. If a million people were in front of you right now, what would you tell them?
You know, people refer to me, right? Understanding. You gotta be understanding in this world, in this life. You gotta be understanding of everybody around you, you know. As human beings, I truly do believe we do the best we can to our, you know, best of our awareness, you know. Sometimes we fuck up. We're not aware that we messed up. We gotta try and be understanding with people. Also, you know, have your boundaries, but, you know, be understanding and be compassionate, you know. Treat people like you would want to be treated. You know, just the golden rule, I guess. Cliche, but.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. All right. Any shout outs?
And shout out to Tejo Kickboxing, all my coaches I've had here, all the coaches that I ever had, Art of War, all the coaches I had at Cup Muay Thai. Yeah, thank you guys all for taking a chance on an old man that had a dream and, you know, not brushing me aside and believing.
All right. You want to shout out your Instagram? Or
I don't have one. I need to get on there.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you,
Cool.
man. I appreciate it.
Peace. Thank you, sir.